So there have been some really good free agency moves, and there have been some really head-scratching free agency moves, in my opinion. So what I want to do today, now I understand NBA free agency is not over with. I understand that we still need to know what happens with Kyrie Irving. We still need, even though he's not a free agent, we still need to know what happens with Kyrie. We still need to know what happens with Kevin Durant. We still need Russell Westbrook. There's still players that we know are going to be on the move or have been rumored to be on the move, and once those happens, we'll talk about it. But what I want to do is I'm going to give my 5 best free agency moves that I've seen so far and the 5 worst that I've seen so far. Let's start with the best. Let's start with number 5. Philly getting PJ Tucker. Now, if you were to look just the age, I would have been like, yo, this move sucks. PJ Tucker, I think, signed a 3-year deal. PJ Tucker signed a 3-year, $33 million deal, and he's 37. Meaning by the end of this contract, he'll be 40 years old. Now, I understand that Philly struggled defensively, especially on the perimeter last year. And, of course, that's something that P.J. Tucker can definitely rectify. So I think the toughness-wise, that works. And it's not like you're asking P.J. Tucker to be a high flyer. It's not like you're asking P.J. Tucker to score 20, 15, even 10 points a game. So I do think it was a good move as far as, P.J. Tucker's been to the NBA Finals once. He went to the Eastern Conference Finals just a year ago with Miami. I do think that it's going to bring toughness and it's going to bring defense to a team that is in desperate need of it in Philly. So I do like that move, even though I don't like the $33 million for 3 years to a 37-year-old. I also understand you're not asking him to be LeBron. You're not asking him to be a high flyer. You're asking him to bring toughness and defense, and that's something that he has been able to do. So that's number 5. Number 4, I have the Clippers getting John Wall. Now, this is predicated on John Wall staying healthy. This is predicated on, what John Wall are we getting? I'm not expecting the 2016 John Wall. I'm not expecting that. But if John Wall can be available, can be healthy, can be a rim runner, and be able to create for Paul George, create for Kawhi Leonard, to me, this is great. This is a slam dunk. If he is anywhere close to his best, he's better than Reggie Jackson. He's better than any point guard that they would have on the roster. And I do like that. I do like it. It even his ability to get coast to coast and get to the rim also will open up the floor for Paul George, for Kawhi Leonard, for Luke Kennard, players like that. So it of course that's all predicated on, and they didn't have to give much for him. So that's all. Actually, they didn't have to give anything because it was a buyout. So this is all predicated on John Wall being healthy and getting close to, I'm not going to say prime because that's unexpected, especially with the lower extremity injuries that he's had. But he looked good in the minimal minutes that he played or minimal time that he played for Houston. The problem was Houston just was in a full rebuild, and John Wall was too good for a full rebuild. So then it's like, yo, just stay home. So I like the Clippers getting John Wall. That's number 4. Number 3, and a sneaky thing that a lot of people forgot was Portland getting Jeremy Grant. One of the running gags here is Portland does not know how to build a team around Damian Lillard. Yes, you had CJ McCollum, but outside of that, you really didn't have much. Now you're starting to see, okay, they're actually doing some things. You have to build a team around them, and I like what Portland's doing. Getting Jeremy Grant, who is a really good player. A lot of people don't watch Jeremy Grant like that because he was just in Detroit, but Jeremy Grant is an incredible player. You also get Gary Payton II for defense. You get the rookie Shaden Sharp. I love the pickup from Jeremy Grant. I do think that's a wing that can relieve the scoring pressure from Damian Lillard. Not saying that he's on the same level as Damian Lillard at scoring, but I do like the pickup. Damian Lillard has been rotten in Detroit, and I think that is a great pickup for Portland, especially when you think about trying to build a team around a competent team around Damian Lillard. Number 2, I like Atlanta trading for Jonte Murray. Now, I will say one of the biggest reasons why this is not number 1, and actually, even though it is number 2, I was a little hesitant in putting it on the list is because I still don't know how how DeJounte Murray and Trae Young are going to play together. DeJounte Murray, it does not, at least he hasn't had to, but doesn't. We haven't seen him thrive off the ball. We definitely haven't seen Trae Young thrive off the ball, and they're both going to have to play with each other. The reason why I have it number 2 though is because they're two all-stars. You know, DeJounte Murray's in the prime of his career, or not even in the prime, like elevating to his prime. You know, him and Trae Young are still both very young, and when you lock up a backcourt like that, you know you're working with something. And he was one of the best players available via trade. Of course, we still see what's going to happen with Kyrie and KD, but nobody knew going into this offseason that KD was going to be available for trade. But he was one of the names that we definitely knew was sprinkling around of, you know, DeJounte Murray could be traded, or we still need to know what's going to happen with John Collins. But if they keep John Collins, this is going to be I think it's a good move. I still need to see what DeJounte Murray and Trae Young look like together, because one person going to have to play off the ball, and I don't know how that's going to work. But I do like them getting a young all-star in DeJounte Murray. And number 1, Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics. Look, I have been very adamant in saying that if Boston had a point guard that can control the pace of the game, that can get easy buckets for Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, that they would have won the NBA Finals. You saw a lot of times in the NBA Finals when things got sped up, when things got sporadic, Boston started taking bad shots. Marcus Smart he's not a shot creator for other people. He's a shot creator for himself, but not for other people. If Malcolm Brogdon can stay healthy, because that is now a label that he has developed. If Malcolm Brogdon can stay healthy, I think that the Celtics should be the clear-cut favorite to at least make it to the NBA Finals again. We need to see a development with Jaylen Brown as far as his decision-making. I don't know how many times. I tweeted about this jokingly, but, how many times does a player have to try to split or try to spin out of a double team and get it stolen for them to think to themselves, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? I don't know. But I think that, the presence of Malcolm Brogdon will create easy shots for Jaylen Brown, easier shots for Jason Tatum. I'm not saying that they still won't dominate the ball, but in times of crisis, you need a Chris Paul, you need a Malcolm Brogdon to slow everything down and get easy buckets for everybody else. So I think that was a slam dunk. And if he's able to stay healthy, I have bought the Boston Celtics making it to the NBA Finals again, if everything stays the way it stays. So those are my 5 best free agency moves. Again, I didn't want to talk about the re-signees because that can dominate the list. And when I say re-signs, I mean like Zach LaVine getting the max extension, Nikola Jokic signing the biggest contract in NBA history, Bradley Beal, $251 million, I think. Like I didn't want to talk about that. I want to talk about some of the transactions. So those are 5 best moves.